Hi, thank you for joining me for World Wednesday. This is when we're talking about connections. Usually it's social connections, but it's how we connect to the world, creation, something bigger than ourselves. So we're talking about parenting. And so I wanted to talk to you about my 4 expectations that I have for kids. I developed this system back when I was a teacher at a behavioral specialty school. These were kids that were kicked out of elementary schools. And so they need an alternative school to attend. So I developed these 4 rules. They have served me well throughout all of the time professionally working with kids and my own kiddos. So I developed 4 expectations, and everything in life has always fit into these 4 things. I have never found any experience that did not fit into these 4 things. So my first rule, my very most important rule, is safety. Nothing ever is fun to me if somebody did or can get hurt. So this is where we are safe physically with ourselves, with other people, with our supplies. This also has to do with emotional safety. So are we saying kind words? Are we making sure that everyone's included? The next rule that I have is responsibility. Are you taking care of your things, yourself, and the people around you? So there's a fine line, especially with younger kiddos that want to be really bossy and want to tell people what to do. You're not, and then for kiddos that also can feel over responsible for other people and feel a lot of the pressure to take care of other people. So the first responsibility that people have is to themselves. And then there's a healthy amount of responsibility for other people, as in if a person has a friend over for a playtime, making sure that that person has access to the supplies that they need, but you can't force somebody to have a good time. So that would be an example where you are being responsible and you're helping that person, but yet you're not being overly responsible. So the third expectation that I have is about respect. So that's treating other people the way that you would want to be treated. And I feel like responsibility and respect are about the same of importance. So respect has to do with, are you being honest? Are you being kind? Are you being helpful? This is where other people need to really focus on being, like I said, respectful and treating people the way you would want to be treated. So the fourth expectation that I have is about being fun. So that has to do with being willing to try something new, having a positive attitude. Doesn't mean that you're going to like everything in life. Doesn't mean that you have to do something and then continue on with it. But it's just about having a flexible, joyful attitude. So an example of when all of these can kind of interplay. So if somebody is being unkind to somebody and is saying mean words, then they're probably not being safe emotionally, and they're not being respectful, they're not being responsible, and they're not being fun. So how I deal with those expectations is in a lot of different ways. I have had charts in my lifetime where kiddos, I would ask them maybe after every activity, maybe twice a day, maybe once a day. For my own kiddos, we used to do this when they were younger every night. So were you safe? Were you respectful, responsible, and fun? So different things that you can do with that is they can earn money. That's what I did with my own kiddos. So when they were younger, I can't remember, maybe they earned 25 cents for each check that they got each day for being safe, respectful, responsible, and fun. Now, for the chart system, there was 2 things that I would do is I would add, did they do anything extra? So maybe they got 10 cents. So maybe they did something above and beyond. Maybe they were super helpful to a friend, or maybe they were super helpful to me or to their sibling, but they also got takeaways. So let's say you didn't clean up and I went through and I found 7 pieces of your clothing just scattered throughout the house as you took off your shoes and your book bag and your jacket and whatever, and you just kind of flung your hat and your coat. So they might have a takeaway for each one. So one way is you can have it to be linked towards money. At school, what I would do is they would be linked to a privilege. So at the end of the week, depending on how many checks that they got, then that depended on whether or not maybe they got special coloring sheets, maybe they got to attend a special movie. We usually had fun Fridays when I worked at schools, and so there would be a special movie, maybe a treat along with it. And so then when it came to other places where I worked, sometimes they earned prizes. So there's a lot of different ways that you can link it. It can also be special time. You know, if you, like I said, it can be activities, it can be something special, a treat. Maybe it can be that they get to choose what you have for dinner. Maybe they get to choose what movie you're going to watch as a family. It's different ways, but those are the 4 expectations that I have found in life that just really encompass everything. And for me, the chart has been really important to do with my kiddos because it reminds me just how awesome they are. That I know how awesome my kiddos are, but when I see it on paper, and they struggle, they don't always get their checks, you know, sometimes they get takeaways, but they also get more extras. Like in life, I think people, when you look for the good in people and in ourselves, then we are able to find it. And sometimes you have to balance that with actually seeing people for who they really are and what they're really doing in ways that they need to improve. That is 100% too, but it's also about encouraging ourselves. I think it's so easy for us to get the message that we're not good enough, and for other people to get the message that we're not good enough and we're not doing the best that we can. And so it's really helpful when we reward ourselves and especially our kiddos for doing such awesome work. So I hope this video was helpful, and as always, blessed be seeking for peace. Thank you.